That was not great. What the heck? What happened? Hey everyone, Dan and Leslie back for another Disney dining review.
Today we are headed over to Disney Springs to Morimoto Asia Street Food. Yes, if you didn't know, Morimoto Asia has a cute little section like outside of their restaurant that has quick service food.
If you've ever gotten a Gideon's cookie, you've probably been standing right beside it.
That's so true.
It's been forever since we've been here.
Yeah.
Like pre-pandemic, years and years ago since we actually tried this, because I always forget it's there. Like we were actually talking about what quick service dining review we were gonna do, and I just happened to remember, wait, you know what? Morimoto sounds good. They actually have a quick service place attached to their little restaurant there. Yes. So it sounds pretty tasty. They actually have some pretty good stuff here. At least they did.
Yeah, so basically it looks like from their online menu that there are 3 different options of ramen that you can get that run like $14, $15. There are also bites. This is what they call them, bites. So it's like some salmon, some ghee pie, a Korean corn dog, Morimoto baby ribs, egg roll, chicken dumplings, pork bao bun. Anyway, so many of them are very inexpensive, so they must be very small bites. So I don't know if it's like kind of like a tapas type style. I don't really remember exactly.
I don't remember either. I remember getting several things, but it's been so long. So we're just gonna pretend like we've never been before and go check it out. I think we're probably gonna get a smattering, an assortment, if you will, of the Morimoto fare.
Smattering sounds great.
We gotta get the ribs though. The ribs, like we just got the ribs for Aiden's birthday. We went to Morimoto, the inside sit-down expensive part, and we got ribs, and they were fantastic. They are one of the most popular thing on the menu. Probably that, the Peking duck, maybe the Burry Bop. Several really popular things, and the ribs are definitely one of them. So I definitely think we get that. You were talking about ramen, even though it is like surface of the sun out there right now.
I know, I thought about that after I said that. I was like, Anyway, but the bao
does sound
bun,
good though.
Yeah, so many things sound good. So I think we'll smattering.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right, I'm hungry.
All right, let's do this.
So we have ordered. The online menu is different. There's only one of the ramen dishes here, and it had kimchi in it, and I just wasn't sure that I was feeling that. So we did not get ramen. We got the pork ribs. We got the Korean corn dog. We got 2 chicken lemongrass dumplings, a pork egg roll, and a bao bun. And so all of that was $43.67 for the 2 of us. We got 2 waters. And so there's only outdoor seating here. I think I was aware of that, but I feel like, I don't know, I thought at one point they had indoor, but maybe not. And here I got the little dumplings and the egg roll with the bao bun.
So I have a dumpling here. Oh, that's interesting. Definitely get the lemongrass. It's a good flavor. That hit of lemon is strange, unexpected. I mean, I know we ordered a lemongrass dumpling, but I will say that they have pre-made everything, so it's sitting in a case and then they heat it up, and it's obviously not like fried like right now, but you get your food in like 30 seconds, so that's pretty good. Let me try the egg roll real quick. That's actually a really good egg roll. I like that.
I'm gonna try the barbecue pork bao bun. This was $6. I mean, if it's good, that's a pretty decent little value, right? Got that barbecue flavor. The bao bun is really soft. It's not like overly hot for your mouth, but it's hot enough. I got the big messy things to try. This is a Korean corn dog. Oh my gosh. What is that on the bottom? Is that sugar? I don't know, but there's sriracha ketchup and honey mustard on the top of it. we go. They just cooked that, so it's quite hot. I only got the cheese portion, obviously, like a Korean hot dog, from my understanding. It's like cheese halfway down, and then the hot dog portion, that is sugar all along the bottom. I actually could go without that. There's a lot of sugar. But the sriracha ketchup and the honey mustard on top, that's a nice touch. So this I'm kind of mixed on. Like I don't like the sugar. We also got the ribs. Here we go. They're like, fall off the bone like they're inside, but they're chewy. I don't know how to explain that. it just like the bite came off very easily, but I had to like kind of gnaw through the meat, and I think it's probably because they've been sitting in that case for God knows how long. The flavor's still fantastic, but the ribs inside are much better. You get 3 ribs for $15 out here. Anyway, we are going to keep eating and finish this up at home.
All right, we are back.
Before we get into this interesting review, if you are looking to plan your next magical vacation, please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We plan Disney destinations, Universal Cruise Lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
You almost lost that one. There's gonna be a theme throughout this. The flavors of the food, really, really good. The quality of the food, not so much.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I remember very much liking this place years ago when we went, and I feel like it has gone downhill.
It's gone downhill, yeah. I mean, granted, we were there at 4 p.m. on a Monday.
Still.
But at the same time, like, don't serve the food if it's not good. Ambiance.
This is where they shine, because
This is where they shine, and all it is a porch in the shade with fans, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's 1,000 degrees outside, and I wasn't hot sitting there, you know? It was shady, the fans were going. I love sitting outside. Like, it makes me just generally happy. You can kind of people watch. You're right there by Chef Art Smith's and the springs, and so you just have a lot of fun things to look at while you're sitting there. So we gave Ambiance a 4.
That being said, if you go and it is early and the sun, I don't know what season the sun would shine in on that at lunchtime. Like,
I didn't think
just
about that.
keep on walking.
It's true, because it'll be miserable.
The theming, there's not a lot of theming. So they've got these like red banner things that are hanging down, presumably to block some of the sun that shines in there earlier in the day. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Small sign. Super average. Like, I mean, it matches the theming inside, and the food is obviously Japanese. But, you know, I mean, I didn't like, if you set me on that porch and took away those red flags and I couldn't see the food, I wouldn't immediately think Japanese restaurant, would you?
No.
But it's not bad. So we gave theming a 3.
Service.
What the heck? What happened?
So we ordered like, what, 5 or 6 things? I can't even remember.
Hold on, 5. Because it was an order of ribs, a Korean corn dog, and then we got the bites that are the eaches. So we got
the bao bun, the egg roll, and the
2 dumplings.
Yeah, they immediately packaged up the egg roll and the dumplings and the bao bun and handed those to us. And then they said something quickly about how it was going to be 5 minutes or 15 minutes. I don't know. I
heard 5 minutes. You said 15 minutes.
I couldn't really hear anything. So I was like, no problem, you know. And anyway, so we went, we sat, we did the review on the things we got. Then we got, I mean, by the time we were done with that, the corn dog came out. And then we sat there and sat there and sat there.
It took about 5 minutes for the corn dog. So that must have been what they said.
Nothing was happening with the ribs. So I went back up there and I was like, hey, so our ribs? And they both looked at me very confused. And I was like, do you need my receipt? Because we didn't get our ribs. And they both looked at me still very confused and kind of looked at our table and then kind of fumbled around a little bit. And
to be clear, we were the only ones there. And we were the only ones that had ordered the entire time we were there. So it's not like they had...
That should have been a warning for us.
It's not like they had a bunch of orders that they were jumbling around back there. Like,
yeah.
It was one of 5 things.
Yeah.
4 of which they got done pretty quick. Like, how do you miss that?
I was like, I can go get my receipt. And she was like, no. And then they went over to this corner and they were like looking at the receipt. And then they said something to each other. And then she hesitantly boxed up some ribs for me.
They were the most expensive thing that we ordered.
Yeah.
It was more than a third of the total cost of all the food. And oh, by the way, we didn't eat them all because they weren't that good. It was just like, I thought they were back there like handcrafting these things or something. And no, turns out they just needed to put them in a box.
We gave service a 2 because it was.
It honestly probably should get a 1, but they were actually very nice whenever we walked up and ordered. And
all that to say, I mean,
I could understand if they had a line out the thing and there was all these people and orders and they had tickets flying around, but no.
The food might have been better if there was a line out the thing.
Oh my goodness. So the food, here's the problem. The food, the flavor of everything we ate was actually quite good. Mm-hmm. The way it was prepared was substandard, 100%. The best prepared thing that we got was the Korean corn dog, and I think they actually fried it while we were there. I think that's why it took 5 minutes.
I don't think they fried it. Maybe they did.
They cooked it somehow.
They cooked it somehow.
Maybe they air fried it, I don't know, but it came out piping hot as opposed to the other stuff that came out kind of lukewarm. And it was crispy. Yeah. Like it was fresh. It was obviously prepared ahead of time because there's no way in 5 minutes they could have done like crafted this corn dog and put the cheese and all that stuff in it. Like we saw them sitting there in the case, so it doesn't. But yeah, they fried it or flash fried or something. This was the one thing that the flavor was kind of a miss because
they loaded it with sugar.
It was.
I did not understand that piece of it, and maybe if this is a Korean hot dog thing, then tell me I'm wrong. But like it did not, like the entire, it was like they had gotten it moist and like dipped it in the sugar container. Like
granulated
it was
sugar.
Thick on there. Yeah. And it was unnecessary.
It was more like a, anyway, I've only had one other Korean hot dog. It was at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not a big Korean hot dog fan, and that was not rolled in sugar, so that's what we're comparing this to.
That was one of the best things
That was great. This was not. I enjoyed eating it the best because it was hot, it was fresh, it tasted fresh, and I know that it was prepared ahead of time because I saw it in the case. So
and the melted cheesy goodness inside, and then the hot dog.
That's why they fried it, because it had to melt the cheese.
Yeah.
All the other stuff was in the case, in a heated case. And it tasted like it had been prepared for hours and came out of a heated case, because it had. The ribs are like famous here at Morimoto Asia, because inside, it's like they cook these ribs for a long time and then they flash fry them or something, because they have this glaze on them and they fall off the bone, which, we're not gonna talk about the doneness of ribs, but they fall off the bone. But they're crispy because they like fry them before they serve them too. Here, it's the same glaze, so the flavor is the same. You get that amazing flavor, but they're chewy.
Floppy.
And they still fall off the bone, but they're not crispy. They're kind of soggy. Like, it's just...
It's weird.
We each ate one, and then we're like, no. And really, that's the same thing with the other stuff, too.
Yeah, but see, the flavors, we kept coming back to the flavors, which is the only reason that the food got a 3, because the flavors were all very good. But like the bao bun, the flavor was really good, but I was like, upon eating more of it, I was like, this is rather doughy. Like, I feel like it might be a little undercooked. The egg roll I had no problems with.
The egg roll was good.
I actually liked the egg roll, yeah.
And actually, I didn't mind it, just being out of the case. Maybe that was fresher than the other stuff. Maybe they had made those more recently.
The dumplings were terrible. Just
the dumplings
skip those.
were awful. I have dumplings in my freezer that I will take out and then just frozen, put a little bit of oil, and like pan fry them, and they are way fresher than these things were. I don't know how an Iron Chef can possibly think this is okay. It's not. Like
the food was not great.
The quality of the food was definitely subpar. So the quality of the food is like a 1 or a 2, but the flavors of the food is like a 4.
Yeah. So we landed on a 3.
We went up at a 3, but
I don't know. Honestly, it probably could be a 2.5.
Maybe a 2.5.
But it's...
All that to say, we probably won't be back.
No.
It was not great. All that to say, you add all that up, divide by 4, we gave it a 3, and I'm like, even though I won't be back, there's not enough to make it a sub, like...
I don't know.
Because the flavors were so good.
That's true.
Right? And if they hadn't just forgotten the ribs, which they shouldn't have, that was a big... But if they hadn't forgotten the ribs,
Yeah. I don't feel like the number matches our opinions right now, so take that as you will.
Overall ratings, basically if it gets a 4, we're definitely gonna be back. If it gets less than a 3, we'll never be back. And I don't feel like we'll ever be back here. But the inside, inside Morimoto Asia, the sit-down restaurant inside is wonderful. It's one of our favorite restaurants there.
And maybe that's the pull.
Maybe
That's why we're hesitating. I bet whenever the place first opens and the food hasn't been sitting in the case for...
Maybe, unless they just pull it out of the fridge from last night. I don't know.
You think they would pack those up and
Well, I don't think they should be serving what we got.
The next dining review will be much better. I already know where we're going and I'm already excited. If you are liking these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
We will see you on the next video.